Hello! In today's video, we shall learn in detail about functioning of nephron. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear understanding about ultrafiltration, reabsorption, tubular secretion in kidney, countercurrent mechanism, role of kidney in osmoregulation, renin, angiotensinogen, aldosterone system, chronic kidney disease, and various kidney disorders. Let us begin with the introduction to nephrons. The nephrons, which are the functional unit of kidney, are specially designed to maintain body fluid homeostasis and help in the production of urine. Urine formation takes place in three stages: ultrafiltration, selective reabsorption, and tubular secretion. Ultrafiltration is the first step in urine formation. It occurs in the Malpighian bodies through the glomerulus under high hydrostatic pressure. Water, glucose, amino acids, sodium chloride, and urea pass from the blood in the glomerulus in a passive manner. The blood is poured into the glomerulus by efferent arteriole, which has a greater diameter. From here, it is carried by the efferent arteriole with smaller diameter. High pressure is created due to difference in diameter, resulting in filtration of blood. The filtrate is called glomerular filtrate. The filtrate and blood have same concentration except for blood cells, RBC and WBC, plasma proteins like albumin, globulins, and large fat globules. The filtrate contains essential substances like glucose, amino acids, water, several ions, and harmful substances like urea, uric acid, creatinine, etc. By the way, if you're getting some value out of this video, please like and share this video so that all of us can learn, unlearn, and relearn together. Also, please consider subscribing the channel and press the bell icon to get instant notification of all the upcoming videos. Next, we shall learn about reabsorption in proximal convoluted tubule. Reabsorption is the second step in urine formation. It is the movement of solutes and water from the tubule back into the bloodstream. The filtrate moves to the proximal convoluted tubule (PCT), where most of the reabsorption takes place. The movement of water and solutes through the walls of capillaries occur either by active or passive process. Glucose, amino acids, sodium ion, potassium ion, calcium ions are absorbed actively, while water and chloride ions are absorbed passively. Next is reabsorption in Henle's loop. The first part of the Henle's loop is the thin descending limb, which is impermeable to salt and permeable to water. Therefore, the liquid, as it moves into the next part, that is the bent part of the loop, it has more amount of salt and urea than the blood plasma. Water is absorbed passively and the filtrate is said to be hypertonic. The third part of the loop is the thick ascending limb, which is impermeable to water and permeable to salt. In the ascending limb of Henle, sodium chloride diffuses out of the tubule into the surrounding tissue. As this limb is impermeable to water, the filtrate becomes hypotonic. Sodium ions are reabsorbed actively, while potassium ion and chloride ions are absorbed passively. The vasa recta capillaries run parallel to the loop. They help to maintain osmotic gradient required for water reabsorption. Next is reabsorption in distal convoluted tubule. In DCT, sodium ions are absorbed actively and is under the control of aldosterone hormone. Water is absorbed passively. Reabsorption of water is under the control of antidiuretic hormone ADH. The filtrate here becomes isotonic. As the wall of the collecting tubule is permeable to water and urea, the filtrate becomes concentrated. Finally, urine enters the collecting duct. Next, let us understand tubular secretion. The secretion of unwanted substances from peritubular capillary network into tubular fluid is called tubular secretion. It mainly occurs in the DCT. Potassium ion, hydrogen ion, creatinine, uric acid, urea, etc. are some of the unwanted substances which are actively separated and secreted inside renal tubule. The fluid becomes hypertonic and is excreted as urine. The ADH hormone or vasopressin makes the urine concentrated by reabsorbing water. The urine formed in the nephron follows the following pathway. The collecting tubules of the nephron carry the urine to the ducts of BOTANY, from where it travels through the renal pyramids, calyces, renal pelvis, and reaches the ureters. The urine is then temporarily stored in the urinary bladder. The sphincter muscles present in the bladder help in urination and micturition. Next is composition of urine. The color of urine is pale yellow due to the presence of pigment urochrome. Urine contains 95% water, 2.5% urea, and 2.5% of other metabolic waste like uric acid, creatinine, and several ions. Next, let us understand the counter-current mechanism. The nephrons present in the kidneys of human excretory system uses counter-current mechanism to concentrate the urine. This mechanism generates osmotic gradient and helps to reabsorb water from the tubular fluid. Countercurrent in the loop of Henle of juxtamedullary nephron is responsible for creating the osmotic gradient. The nephrons are accompanied by vasa recta capillaries. These are long, hairpin-shaped blood vessels that run parallel to the loop of Henle. The filtrate flows into both ascending and descending limbs of Henle in opposite direction, and the flow of blood in vasa recta is also in opposite direction. The descending limb of Henle is impermeable to solutes but freely permeable to water. A countercurrent system is created between both the limbs of Henle. Movement of sodium chloride from the ascending limb of Henle's loop creates an osmotic gradient. Sodium ion is actively removed from ascending limb. Due to osmosis, water comes out of the descending limb. The concentration of solutes in the interstitial fluid increases. A countercurrent is created due to the movement of both water and sodium ions. The peritubular capillaries and vasa rectae remove water, but sodium ion is not absorbed readily. The interstitial fluid becomes hypertonic, while the filtrate becomes hypotonic. Now, let us learn about the role of kidney in osmoregulation. Regulation of the concentration of water and salts in the body is known as osmoregulation. It occurs in the medulla of kidney. ADH or vasopressin promotes reabsorption of water. ADH from pituitary is released when the water content of the body fluid is low or less than the normal. The hormone increases the permeability of water in DCT and collecting duct. Large amount of water is reabsorbed. ADH production is suppressed when the amount of water is high in blood. This results in decreased permeability of water. Water is not reabsorbed and the body fluid comes back to the normal level of concentration. Hormone aldosterone regulates sodium level and water level in body fluids. It stimulates potassium ion secretion with sodium reabsorption. Sodium ion is reabsorbed actively and water passively to maintain osmotic balance. Low secretion of ADH causes diabetes insipidus. The urine becomes hypotonic and the person feels thirsty. Next, we shall look into the renin, angiotensinogen, aldosterone system. Renin, angiotensin, atrial natriuretic factor and antidiuretic hormone aldosterone together regulate the function of kidney. The renin-angiotensin-aldosterone system regulate blood pressure, blood volume, electrolyte and water balance. Renin enzyme secreted by juxtaglomerular cells and angiotensinogen enzyme secreted by liver cells are responsible for the reabsorption of water in the nephrons. When there is a fall in blood pressure in the glomerulus, the juxtaglomerular cells get activated and release enzyme renin into the bloodstream. Renin converts inactive angiotensinogen to active angiotensin 1 and finally into angiotensin 2. Angiotensin 2 is a powerful vasoconstrictor which increases the blood pressure and triggers adrenal glands to release aldosterone. Sodium ion reabsorption increases in the distal convoluted tubule DCT and water is reabsorbed by osmosis. This results in increase in blood volume and also increase in blood pressure. Increase in blood pressure and blood volume causes secretion of atrial natriuretic factor ANF, which brings about vasodilation and decrease in blood pressure. It inhibits secretion of renin from juxtaglomerular cells and secretion of aldosterone. It reduces reabsorption of sodium chloride of nephric filtrate into the interstitial fluid. Homeostasis or regulation of the internal environment is maintained through osmoregulation and excretion. By feedback mechanism, ADH, RAAS and ANF regulate the functioning of kidney tubules. Next, we shall learn about the chronic kidney disease. Renal failure may be acute renal failure or chronic renal failure. Chronic kidney disease, also known as CKD, occurs when the kidneys are not able to filter blood properly. A person suffering from diabetes, high blood pressure, obesity, heart disease, and not maintaining a healthy diet and proper lifestyle is prone to CKD. There are different stages in CKD: mild, moderate, and severe. A person having CKD shows different symptoms like fatigue, tiredness, muscle cramps, swelling of feet and ankles, and low energy level. The severity of CKD can be ascertained by calculating glomerular filtrate rate (GFR) primarily from the amount of creatinine present in the blood sample of a person. Urine albumin creatinine ratio can be determined from the person's urine sample. In advanced condition, the patient might have to go through dialysis and kidney transplantation. There are several kidney disorders. Uremia is characterized by high level of urea in blood. Proteinuria or albuminuria is elevated protein in the urine. Aliguria is decrease in urine output, which indicates signs of impaired renal function. Polyuria is a condition where the body urinates large amount of urine than the usual amount. Dysuria is painful urination due to urinary tract infection causing discomfort. I have some practice questions for you. Please share your answers in the comment section below. You can pause the video and write down the questions if you like. Thank you so much for your time and participation. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please consider subscribing the channel and press the bell icon to get instant notification of all the upcoming videos. Also, if you want to discuss any particular topic in biology, please mention that in the comments section below. I'll see you there. Goodbye. All the best.